Hey everybody, it's another late shift here. It's around 12:30 a.m. as you guys can see on that clock, and I'm about to get started and make some shelves for this true back bar cooler. And I'm gonna get started right now. And I just want to shoot a quick video and go through the process and teach you guys how to make shelves for your refrigeration system. So let's get started. What you will be needing is obviously a tape measure, a marker, and a grinder here. Got a grinder here. So the first thing you want to do after you have all your tools is go to the cabinet that you are working on, that you want to make shelves for. So once you've got it here, you want to measure the length and the depth. So I'm trying to do that while showing you guys. Here, I'm gonna put my. So what I'm gonna do, let's go with the width first. So the width I've got, you want to go from the clip, the shelving clip. I don't know if you guys can see it. Here, I'll move it down, move it down, move it up a bit. There you go. From this clip to the other clip. So right now I've got 19. Maybe, actually I could go probably 19.5 inches. And then I want to go depth-wise from clip to clip, from the back of the cooler to the front of the cooler. And this is 18 inches. So 19.5 by 18 would be perfect. It's always good to make sure measure twice. So I'm gonna measure again from the middle of the clip to the middle of the other clip. So 19.5 sounds about right, perfect. And this way depth is 18. So 19.5 by 18. So once you have those two measurements, you can go ahead and write them down. And it's always important to know which end the clips sit on. That's the important one. Because you cannot go too much longer or shorter, because the clips have to hold the shelf. Whereas if you did the depth doesn't matter if it's an inch shorter or an inch bigger, just because if you look carefully, there is some room from the clip to the outside of the door. So worst case scenario, if you do it too long, you're just gonna come out a bit more off the clip. So that's not a big deal. Whereas if you did the width from across, that's important, because if you go too long, then the other shelf won't fit. And therefore, it's very, very important. I like to know which one is the width. Therefore, so sometimes I just like to put an asterisk or a star or something, just so you know which measurement is which one. After you've done that, you want to go look at some old shelves that you may have lying around, or anything that is sturdy, like this shelf right here. This shelf, I have some extras. I have probably about 40 of these. Don't know how they got here, but I have a lot of these, and these actually work really well, just because there's a lot of these anchor points right here, all these little lines, these thick ones. So it is important when you are cutting and making shelves that you never ever want to cut across this way. And if you are going to do that, you want to do it as close as you can to these anchor, what do we call them? The anchor lines or anchor points. these ones. You want to cut as close as you can to these, just for safety reasons, so the customer doesn't cut themselves. So once you've done that, give you guys a better angle. See if this works. Got my tape measure. Okay, so here we are. Gonna do one of these one length first, from this side to this side. So luckily, don't know if you guys can see this, but here, let me do something. Here, I'm gonna change the camera view and you guys can see what I see. Like I said, gonna measure the width, and we got here 19 3/4. Although this is a bit long, this should fit. So what I'm gonna do is mark that, just so I know exactly. Now, I know I said earlier that it's very, very bad to cut along the thin wires, the thin, what do you call these? The thin, whatever you call these, the thin stuff. But you have to do it for this one, or else I have to do it for this one, because I don't have any of them or shelves. So what I'm going to do is, because I have to cut these, that I'm going to go as close as I can to the bigger one, so not much of it sticks out and it doesn't create a dangerous situation for my customer. So I'm going to cut that, and then that's 19.5. And then this way, we're going to go 18, as you can see here. So 18 is right in the middle. So because it's in the middle, I'm going to go to 19 right here. Or I could actually go and make this the width rather than this one, and just make this the depth. So if I do this way, this one is actually better if I do this one the depth, because this is exactly 19.5 if I cut right here. And I already have 20 this way, or 19.5 this way. So actually I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to put this down and make this my, where it rests on the clips right here. Gonna mark there. I definitely need to hire someone and hold the camera for me, because it's very hard to do this stuff with just one hand. Sooner or later I'll get a cameraman. Okay, so there we go. I made my marks right here and this way. So now I'm going to get my grinder. Got my grinder ready. And for a couple ways, for the safest way to use the grinder to grind the shelves, I like to do it like this. I lean it up against something, and then I go ahead and just cut straight down, or sometimes I even go all the way down like this and cut like this, straight and then down. Whichever way you guys prefer. I ain't no master when it comes to a grinder, but at least I like to think I am. Okay, and then after that, safety first. Gonna wear these old ass gloves that I have no idea where they came from, but gonna use them. Okay, so I'm gonna put these on. Gonna get my glasses, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we are back here. Got my gloves on. Got my glasses. So here we are done one side. But before I go on to the next, what I like to do is make sure that this is as smooth as possible this end, just so no one in the future cuts themselves. So I like to run my grinder once across. And now we can go ahead and do the other end. And there we go. That's all there is to it. Now I'm gonna go see and test the fit, see how it fits inside my cooler. Let me change the view. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so here we are with our cut shelf that we just cut. And you always want to make sure that once you put it in, you push on all corners. Make sure it's secure on the clips itself, the shelf clips. And that looks about perfect, guys. And just remember that anytime you're cutting shelves, try to put the ends that you cut towards the wall of the cabinet of the cooler, just so it's not facing any people's like hands, so people's hands don't get cut or something. So this is perfect just because the cut ends are in the corner. This end is facing this wall and that end is facing that wall, so this shelf is pretty safe. Once again, this is Danny. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Now you guys know how to make shelves for your reach-in coolers and freezers. And I will see you guys next time.